Hi, my name is Terry. I've lost 170 pounds with keto, carnivore, and ketovore. Hello, and welcome to my channel. So my name is Terry, and I've lost 170 pounds, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what you could do if you wanted to get on the New Year's resolution train and, new you, new year, new life, all that stuff. So if I were to restart, I'm going to tell you what I would do. So first off, you need to decide your why. What is the reason you're wanting to lose weight? Is it for your health? Is it so you can look better in your clothes? Is it so you can live longer for your children, for your grandchildren? We all have to have that why. And the reason is because there's going to be times when it is a little bit harder, or you're hungry, and and you're going to need something to kind of help you hang on whenever you're a little stressed out and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. So you need to figure out your why, because it's something that you need to turn to and remember in the future. Once you figured out your why, you need to figure out your how. There's so many things. You want to do Weight Watchers, low carb, keto, vegetarian, carnivore, Nutrisystem, any of the things. There's so many things that are out there. So you have to decide what your method's going to be. So if you chose low carb, this is how I would start and how I did start. I chose a free website, a free app. I chose dietdoctor.com. Now, I'm not promoting them because I did the free version and I logged in, and you can still get all the recipes you want for free, but there's hundreds and hundreds of recipes. So that's what I liked about them. And so what I did was I plugged in for, you can plug in for how many servings you want. So if it's just you can plug in and do 2 servings. So you make your supper, and then for 1 serving, the second serving, you eat the next day for lunch. And that's how I did it. Whatever website you want to use, you want to make sure you pick something that uses whole natural foods without a bunch of preservatives and very low processed foods. So that's something you're going to want to look for whenever you choose whatever website you get your recipes from. Like I said, I use Diet Doctor. It was very user friendly. I could plug in. I know one of my favorite things was the Brussels sprouts au gratin, and so with that, I was able to plug in 2 servings, and then again, I'd eat my supper, and then put the other half in a container and take that to work the next day for lunch. If there's 2 of you and you're both doing it, then you can get enough for 4 servings and divide it out and measure it out, and you'll have both of you can have supper and lunch the next day. What I did was I would print them out and then and then write those things on my shopping list. So that's how I worked that. My suggestion is whatever website you get your stuff from, you need to get you need to do it for 2 months. Don't count, don't track, don't log, just eat. You're going to need those 2 months to detox. You're going to need those 2 months to learn to cook at home. If you're anything like me, I would drive home from work and I would stop at Burger King and get like 2 value meals or a value meal and a shake. And so I didn't cook very much, or it would be a pizza. So you're going to spend the next 2 months learning how to cook with whole foods and not foods out of a box. And during that time, you are going to be detoxing, and it's not pleasant. It's not fun. But once you break through those 2 weeks, then, things are a lot better. I know there's different things out there people use. Some people use electrolytes to, to help them during the detox period. If you do, you don't necessarily have to go buy some. I made some of my own. If you go back on my channel and look up Terry Least electrolytes, I've made the fruity kind and the chocolate kind. So, but however, if you have trouble with muscle spasms in the middle of the night, then you might want to look into like a magnesium or something like that. But, of course, you can check with your doctor first. But those things are over the counter. So like I said, for those 2 months, don't count, don't track, just eat. Some of the snacks that a lot of people use, there's things like veggies, cream cheese, pork rinds, meat sticks, Parmesan crisps. You can use peanut butter sparingly, just don't go hog wild with it because it's got sugar and it's processed. And for me, the whole point was to get away from the processed foods as much as possible. You could even take butter or ghee and take bites of that, or add it to your warm drinks and melt it down and drink it. That extra fat can help you get through some of your craving times. Like I said, you can use electrolytes. There's different type of supplements. There are some people who sell those exogenous ketones, and where they are a benefit is, I believe, that they can kind of help you through the detox period. They're not required. I think I bought some my first go round in 2017, but then in 2019 when I restarted, I did not use them. But there are things out there, so if it's really rough and you're on the verge of going back to eating the standard American processed food diet, then maybe look into getting one of those exogenous ketones as you need. But after the 2 months, after you've gotten through the detox and you're learning how to cook and you're in the routine, that's when you want to start logging. Go ahead and start logging and log every bite of cheese, every recipe that you're using. Start logging those things. So that way it's going to give you a base idea of how you're doing and what you need to do. You can then, when you go ready to look at it, you can kind of see, maybe this is a little higher than it should be, or that. And don't use your everyday weight. Pick the date that you tend to be the lowest of the month, or the lowest of the week. Some people, they cheat on weekends, so Friday morning is their best weight. I retain fluids throughout the week because I sit at a desk all day. So for me, Monday mornings is my lowest. And just stick to using that to weight. I'm not saying you can't weigh every day. I'm OCD about the scale. But just know that you're going to see it fluctuate, because that's how humans are. Sometimes we retain a little fluid today, but then we let it go tomorrow. So don't use your everyday weight to determine how you're doing. Use your once a week scale. And as you're going along, if you're feeling good, if your scale's moving a pound or two a week, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you look down and the scale doesn't move, as you're tracking these things, now you can make an educated decision. You can say, okay, I've got 5,000 calories. Maybe I could go down to 4,000 calories. Or I'm eating 100 carbs. Maybe I could go down to 90 carbs for a while. Or maybe I don't need, the snack between all 3 meals and then a snack after supper. Maybe I don't need 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. Maybe I'll just take 1 snack out a day and see how that goes. So once you detox and you come out of that processed food brain fog, it's going to be a whole different world. Like I said, I went carnivore for 2 years because I didn't want to cook. I didn't want to have to clean up the mess. And so I did carnivore, and I did all my weekend meal prep. But once you're done with those 2 weeks of learning how to eat whole foods, and then 2 months, and then another couple months of logging, you can look at your results, see how things are going. Like I said, you want what you're doing to work towards your goal. So if your goal is to maintain and everything's working on the scales looking right and you're feeling good, don't change nothing. But if the scale is not moving and you feel like you're at a stall, there's so many little things you can do. You can knock off a snack during the day. You can you can shave off 100 calories. You could shave off 10, 20 carbs. So there's lots of little things you can do. But just to get started, shop the outer aisles, find recipes that are using the meats, cheese, eggs, creams, butters, tallows, all the things in the outer aisles, and vegetables, the low carb vegetables, and places you can Google, we all got Google and Siri and Alexa. And so we can all look up and see what snacks and what foods are low carb. But using something like Diet Doctor or whatever site you like, you may have your own go-to. But again, don't spend a bunch of money. It is not necessary. It's not. I did at one point spend on Diet Doctor and it was fine, but it was like for a few months. But before that, I didn't. So, and I was losing weight by not doing it. So you don't have to spend a bunch of money to lose weight. You don't have to join this club and pay for this and pay this person to be your coach and that person to be your coach. I'm not saying they can't help you. They can. There's so many great people. But if you're just wanting to start and make a change, shop the outer aisles, find some good whole food recipes. And remember, potato chips and bread and crackers, they're vessels. It is a vessel. I learned that from Allie McWowie here on YouTube. Bread is a vessel to get the peanut butter or the meat or the cheese or whatever's on it to your mouth. A cracker or chip is a vessel to get whatever that dip is into your mouth. You get the same thing from a spoon. So retrain your brain from thinking of bread as being part of the sandwich to it's just a vessel. That's all it is. It's a vessel. And you know what else is a vessel? A plate and a spoon, a plate and a fork. So kind of retrain your brain on some of those kinds of things. And it really, really helps. Also, some people that I follow are Kim Howerton and Allie McWowie. She's kind of gone dormant right now, but she talks about calories and Kim Howerton talks about calories. Not so much that calories in and calories out have to be the same, but more of calories matter. If you're eating 2,500 calories and your scale's the same, if you drop down to 2,000 calories, maybe your scale won't be the same. So they do matter. I've learned that over the past 3 years that calories do matter once you start hitting that stall. So anyway, I just wanted to share this because that if I were to start today, that's what I do. Shop the outer aisles, Whole Foods. Don't make all the breads. Don't make all the desserts. Don't make all the fancy things with the fancy flowers. And I went through that. I did the first go around. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of calories that if you just eat what's on the bread, then you're saving yourself some calories and you're saving a lot of time. And you find that you don't really miss the bread. Like I said, so find you a good site, that has good whole foods and that tells you, what all's in it, and do that and start with that for 2 months. And then after that, then you can reevaluate. But if I were to start today, that's what I would do. Okay, bye.